good, everybody? Ace of All Trades here with the game Illuminaughty. We are back with another Triple Threat Sports Podcast live. Shout out to everybody in the Twitch chat. Shout out to everybody watching this on YouTube. Appreciate everybody for coming through. Hope you guys have been having a great Thursday. We are almost to the weekend, thank God. Before we get into the sports news, let's go ahead and introduce the co-host. To the left of me, I got my boy Siggy Guns. Say what up.
What up, what up?
True. And then I got my other boy, homie. Say what up to everybody. UTX JG the Don.
Hi guys, what's up?
True. And we got a guest, and he has not been on here for a very long time, I believe. Say you heard him in some of the live streams. He streams himself too, of course. Say what up to the coach himself, Steven Universe. Say what up, Steven.
What's good? What's good?
True. Appreciate everybody for coming through. Thanks so much for the support. But let's get into it for another week of Triple Threat Sports Podcast Live. So we're going to go ahead and knock out the NFL. If you guys, I'm sure you guys have checked out the NFL draft. Some of you guys may have gotten some nice picks. If not, but we're going to go over it. I'm going to actually start off with Siggy. Siggy, what were your initial thoughts about the NFL draft? Do you think things went the way they were planning on it? Were there any surprise picks on your end? How did your team come out? What are your thoughts? Go.
No, I didn't see any surprises as far as picks. The only thing I found surprising was that a lot of people that were graded high dropped. So it was one of those drafts where a lot of people picked value down at the bottom. It was almost like the Jets didn't have to trade from the 6th spot. They could have pretty much gotten wherever they wanted, a quarterback in the end in that 6th spot. I think the Twitter thing with Allen hurt him a lot because he fell. Rosen fell. A whole bunch of, look, Lamar Jackson fell all the way to the last, pick in the first round.
Well, Lamar Jackson didn't really fall because people were going back and forth with him. They weren't sure if he was even going to be in the first round, to be honest with you. But I don't think it was. He did anything.
In the beginning, they did think that. But then towards the final weeks before the draft, everybody pretty much listed him as 4 or 5. And they thought that quarterbacks were going to dominate because everybody assumed that the first, 3 quarterbacks were going to be taken in the first 5 picks. Everybody knew the Browns. Everybody thought maybe the Giants. Everybody knew the Jets. Everybody thought the Broncos. And they, those teams were supposed to get quarterback right away. I think the Browns kind of shocked people by picking a cornerback instead. I know they got their quarterback, but it kind of opened things up, to where a lot of people were like, whoa, what's going on?
And I was thinking to Houston because of that too, by the way. They had got that pick from Houston, I believe, the 4th pick. That's when they ended up getting Denzel Ward, the cornerback from Ohio State.
Yep. So I'm just saying that final week, so everybody assumed that those top quarterbacks would be picked right away in the top, top of the half of the board. So then it left teams that needed quarterbacks like the Cardinals. There was talk about the Ravens, things like that were wanting a quarterback. So everybody assumed that they would get picked in the first round still because all of a sudden all of them are off the board. And it wound up being still the Ravens that wound up getting Lamar, but I think a lot of people thought they were going to be up pretty high. So.
Gotcha. JG, what'd you think, man? What do you think of the draft? Were you happy with everything that came out for LA and also the draft, or what's up?
Me and Siggy were saying this about the Browns. We were more interested what the Browns were going to do because the rumors came around to saying that they were going to pick 2 quarterbacks. We wanted them to make what we felt was a smart choice and just pick up Barkley, but they did it. A lot of people were saying that they were going to get Darnold, and they totally went with Baker. And that was surprising to me that they felt that Baker was that high compared to Darnold and Allen and Rosen. So that was a surprise pick for me. And then the Giants, since the Browns ended up not getting Barkley, that was the obvious choice for the Giants to go with, just pick up Barkley. And then the Jets ended up getting Darnold. So once that happened, it was really the Browns could have really made any move that they wanted to, and that's why they ended up getting Denzel Ward. I'm not mad at that, since they ended up picking a quarterback first. But picking up Baker, I feel like that's good. I actually I rated him higher than everybody else in the draft, so we will see how it goes. Again, the only thing is that they did end up picking Baker. A lot of people are saying that he's Johnny Manziel version 2.
Oh my
so we're gonna
God.
see how that works out. Yeah, because it was like inevitable. It was literally inevitable because they're saying that they have the same type of attitude and issues off the field. So we're gonna see what happens with that. Because the Browns can be very, very unpredictable. Obviously Tyrod is their starter right now, but we will see if Baker ends up taking that spot. The other picks, like I really wasn't surprised at. I'm happy that the Patriots did not end up getting Lamar Jackson. The Ravens needed him more. I felt like,
yeah, fam. I didn't want that either, fam. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I didn't want that shit at all.
Yeah,
I thought it was gonna happen too because I had 2 opportunities to do it and they didn't do it.
Well, it was like the Patriots ended up picking Sony Michel, and I think again due to injuries with Nick Chubb, that's how Sony Michel ended up getting rated higher. But Rashad Penny though going to the Seahawks, I did not see that coming either. I thought that they would have picked another running back higher than that, and then the Bucks they picked up Vita V. I thought that they definitely would have picked up Derwin. I feel like they needed like that monster safety, so I was surprised that they ended up passing on Derwin, and the Chargers ended up getting him. So I know you should be a little bit happy about that.
I mean, that's always good. And, you know, Florida State produces some great DBs, so you know, I'm happy about that. So shout out to Derwin James for that, and the Chargers, the LA Chargers. You know?
Other than that, like it wasn't really too many surprises. Like we all knew that Shaquem Griffin was going to go to the Seahawks to be reunited with his brother, so they're gonna.
That's cool. That was really cool, by the way. That was really cool, and that's an inspirational story. And that, you know, I wanted to, and I don't mean to interrupt you, I apologize, but him in particular, just show anybody, just because any ailments that you have or anything like that doesn't mean that you can't play any type of sport. Like, I can only imagine what it's like to do the bench press with the ailment that he has, with not having an additional hand. That looks tough, fam. I'm not going to lie.
He's going to surprise a lot of people.
Oh, absolutely.
I can already see his highlights and how he plays.
That 4.3 speed, too? Whew.
And playing with his brother on the same team, they're going to clown. And I'm kind of scared because it's in the West. So the Seahawks going to try to bulk back up and try to take us over. But I think we got some for him. Like, I'm not even surprised at any of the picks that we really made. I'm very happy that we ended up picking John Kelly. I think that he's going to be a sleeper. A lot of people are comparing him to Alvin Kamara. They both went to Tennessee. So I'm going to be happy to see, like, if he actually produces, he's going to take a lot of pressure off of Gurley. They're going to be a dope-ass 1-2 punch. Other than that, like, all the other moves that we made were solely defensive-based and bulking up our O-line. So it was pretty much what we expected. Like, I didn't really get any surprises out of that besides John Kelly. Other than that, like, wasn't really anything else that was notable to me.
I think one thing that was notable was Calvin Ridley to the Falcons.
I'm not surprised at that. They love Alabama wide receivers.
Yeah, I understand that, but the thing is, though, is the fact
but what does that mean for Julio?
Yeah, exactly. Julio's been blowing,
Delaying shit on
stuff.
Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like a hey.
I don't think they're going to replace him.
No, I don't think they are either. But just want some answers, man.
Right.
I was really upset when the fucking Cowboys didn't pick Calvin. That's
right.
I mean, I was upset when it initially happened. Some time passed, I didn't give a shit, but like, I wouldn't have been mad at Calvin Ridley. I thought for sure we were gonna go for him since like we literally just let Dez go, and then
payback
Jay Witt, and then I thought we were going for offense, but I'm not mad at the pick at all, honestly. With Vander Esch, however you say his last name. I'm not mad at it.
Vander Esch. Boise State, too. I mean,
another thing, though, with the Calvin Ridley thing with the Falcons, real quick, is the fact that Sanu, is actually pretty good, too. So, I mean, where are you putting Ridley? You're putting him in the slot and getting rid of Gabriel? Is that what the real move is? But this is a guy that picked in the first round. You're expecting him to be
the guy. He's expected to play. He's expected to be that guy.
They lost like 2 or 3 receivers, though. Yeah. So this makes perfect sense that they picked the wide receivers, their number 1 pick.
So, I mean, are we really saying that the Falcons needed receivers? Is that was the reason why they failed this past year?
No, they failed.
They had the weapons.
I feel like Matt Ryan can get the ball to Julio.
Yeah.
I just think that, I don't know. I think it was a wasted pick for the Falcons.
I don't. That was literally one of the positions that they needed since they gave away so many wide receivers. But we'll see.
Right, Steven, did you want to talk more about the draft, or everything that you were excited for? Your Cowboys and whatnot. Do you guys feel like you guys came out well with this, and your thoughts about the draft?
Yeah, we did better than I thought we were. We got my man's Bo Scarborough from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, national champion.
This nigga
We
here,
got
boy.
and we got a pretty good wide receiver to Michael Gallup. Like I'm pleased with the draft, even though we didn't get Calvin. I'm pleased.
That's what's up. I wouldn't have been surprised if they would have picked him up, especially with Witten leaving and Dez Bryant gone and claiming his revenge. Y'all need all the targets y'all can get, fam. Like,
Yeah, but our defense is still ass too, so I understand.
Yeah.
I understand where we're coming from.
Right.
So I can't be too mad.
And then y'all picked up another quarterback.
Yeah, not too sure what that was.
Right. I mean, they did pretty.
White.
What round did he get picked up in?
I think it was fourth or fifth.
Yeah. Because like I said, the next quarterback. I mean, the next position that they ended up getting for Dallas was Connor Williams, the offensive lineman, and he was in the second round. So yeah. So I mean, the teams look like teams.
Oh yeah, and another rumor. I heard that the Cowboys were not the Cowboys, the fucking Seahawks were willing to trade Earl Thomas to the Cowboys for a second round pick, and they didn't.
Yeah,
That's
I
upsetting.
remember them.
That did upset me, but I don't know. I don't know if that rumor's true or not.
I guess I guess we'll never know, but we shall see. But yeah, the NFL draft was very, very exciting. I thought it was really funny. I think it was the second round or third round that they did this, and David Akers came out and he was basically shitting on all of the Dallas Cowboys fans, and he was talking obviously for the Philadelphia Eagles, and that shit was hilarious. If you guys did not watch it, I recommend you guys typing it up in Twitter or on YouTube. Look up David Akers NFL Draft 2018. That shit was funny. That shit was funny. But and he was
hilarious.
one ring.
When he was there live, and he recorded it on Facebook Live. It was funny.
Yeah, that was funny. I'm not even gonna lie. So if you guys would like to get catch some entertainment with that, definitely check that out. But overall, the draft was pretty good. Like I said before, I think the Chargers got some good picks. Went more on a defensive side. I am still hurt that my boy Antonio Gates will not be wearing a Chargers jersey anymore. And that's very unfortunate because he is definitely he was always a good tight end. He was literally could do everything. The man was athletic, and he was a great target for Phillip Rivers, and our offense will suffer because he is not there. But hopefully things will get better. And also, I would like to shout out my homie, Tyrell Crosby. He's actually, hometown is Las Vegas, Henderson, Nevada to be exact. And he played over at Oregon. He ended up getting drafted the 5th round. He's an offensive lineman to Detroit. So shout out to the homie Tyrell. I mean, it's a great opportunity. I've had multiple former teammates have it and play in the league. Some are still playing now, and that's always an amazing thing when you know somebody personally or have played with somebody and they are in the league. So shout out to him. Looking forward to seeing him. So definitely check him out. But we're going to go ahead and continue to move forward. And speaking of the Dallas Cowboys, we briefly mentioned this a little bit earlier when we started talking about the NFL draft. Jason Witten retires after 15 years. That's a long time, fam. 15 years. And obviously, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. No problem. Definitely unanimous. Nobody's going to have any issues with him getting on. And a crazy stat with Jason Witten is he ranks 5th in receiving yards, and he's the first among tight ends. He is at a total of 12,448. The top 3 is Larry Fitzgerald at 15,545. Marvin Harrison, go Orange, just throw that out there, 14,580. And then you got Reggie Wayne at 13,345. I think that's pretty dope. So, Steven, what do you think about this? About Jason Witten retiring? Do you think that he could have stayed another year? Would he have been a huge impact for the Cowboys and for Dak Prescott? What are your thoughts, Goo?
This hurt, bro. It was just so much like Cowboys like news. It was just Dez first, then the draft, like niggas not picking fucking Calvin Ridley, and then Jay Witt retires. And like, I mean, he's a top 3 tight end all the time in my opinion.
Oh yeah, who's in front of him? I was gonna ask who's gonna be.
Well, Tony Gonzalez.
I think Tony
Facts.
Gonzalez, and then there's Jay Witt, in my opinion.
Nah, I feel you. I mean, I throw
then
Antonio
Gates.
Gates.
Is probably third.
Yeah, I would put Antonio
Gates is third. That's my top.
Nah,
Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, you gotta put him up there. I'm just saying, but nah, I feel you.
I like Shannon Sharp, but like, I was young, but like, nah. But Jay Witt, that's my dog, bro. It hurt. It hurt a lot. He slowed down though. I mean, I felt like it was either going to be this year, and if not this year, the next year. But I think Dez had a little bit of part of it, and being like, oh, you know what, fuck it, I'm done.
Really? You think if Dez was still there, he would have stayed another year?
Maybe. It's just like everything was going downhill. It felt like during that like 1 week. I just don't know, bro. I don't know where the Cowboys are going. It's upsetting though. Sad. Watch my man go.
Right. You guys got any thoughts about it, Siggy JG?
Yeah, I mean, Jason Witten was awesome. I mean, look, I lived here for a long time, and he was somebody that's always been there, always give you the numbers in fantasy football, especially. He was always solid. I mean, the guy was getting, receiving numbers. I mean, that was awesome from the tight end position. Obviously, Tony Gonzalez was one of the ones just like that, and Gates and Rob Gronkowski and stuff like that recently. But that was cool to see. I do think he had some years left in him. I don't really know why he's going to the booth right now. I guess he was afraid of the Tiki Barber thing, where if you wait too long, then they'll pass you up, and then he won't have that chance. That's what it almost sounds like.
Oh, man. Shout out to Tiki Barber and Rondé Barber. Go ahead. JG, got any thoughts, man?
Yeah, man, it's crazy the stats that you put up that he's up there.
Bro,
up
fifth.
Top 5.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
As a tight end.
Yeah, as a tight end. That's ridiculous. I wish he could have, did more like championship wise. Like it would have been nice to see him like actually like win something else. But he's definitely gonna be in the Hall of Fame, no doubt. And yeah, it's crazy. Like the Cowboys are like this gateway now to being an analyst. So that's very interesting how that works out. That he just like, all right, well, I'm gonna go be an analyst now. But at least he's still getting that money.
Right.
And we shall see. We'll see, because I like due to unpopular belief, like I actually like Tony Romo being an analyst on Thursday Night Football. He said a couple of idiotic things, but I think he'll learn as he goes on. But it'll be interesting to see how Jason Witten is on Monday Night Football.
Right. It actually fits him well, like with him. So we'll see. We'll see. It seems like he has the personality for it. Definitely has the football smarts and everything. But just because you can know football from like the back of your hand, but it takes a lot to be a sports analyst and to be able to speak about the game in a way that everyone is going to understand. And we will see. But let's talk about let's switch it up real quick. Let's talk about the Matt Ryan, the money man. The Falcons have reached a 5-year deal with Matt Ryan, where his contract is going to be $150 million extension. Right now, his contract is worth $169.25 million, and check this out, y'all: $100 million guaranteed. That man hit the lotto. And he's going to average $30 million per season. And he's going to be under contract to 2023. Yo, JG, man, I know you like money too, man. So what's up with Matt Ryan, man? What you think of this contract? You think he deserves it or what? What's up?
Overrated. Overrated. Hell no, man. I don't care if he went to the Super Bowl. Nah, bro. I'm not feeling this. They gave him way too much money. Matt Ryan has always been decent, but he's been always throughout his career just slightly above average. Yes, he did get him to the Super Bowl, but you see how they ended up abandoning the run, and Matt Ryan cannot hold it together in the Super Bowl, and the Patriots ended up coming back in one of the craziest comebacks ever in the Super Bowl. Nah, bro, I'm really, really not liking this. But hey, I guess the Falcons, they know what they're doing. They throwing money around for him, and all of these quarterbacks are going to get these ridiculous contracts. We're already seeing it coming. So Jimmy Garoppolo and Andrew Luck and who's the person that just got on the Vikings?
Yeah.
Well, I can't think of his name right now.
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins. Like, and now everybody said Aaron Rodgers is next. He's going to get that monster contract. I know that the quarterbacks or the thing now is all about the throw game, but we're going to see with these running backs. I think the running backs are going to make a comeback here. And these organizations are going to see that they're wasting their money on these slightly above average quarterbacks. But and Matt Ryan, he's decent. He's gonna get you at least like 8, 9, 10 wins. We'll see what happens in the season. And we'll see what happens with Calvin Ridley. But I just don't think he's worth $150 million, 100 guarantee. Man,
that guaranteed
they just got that new stadium too, boy.
Boy, they just throwing money. 100 million guaranteed.
Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Bruh, that's crazy. What you think, Siggy? What you think of this, man?
Nah, that's just the cost of quarterbacks these days. I mean, look, we're talking about all the quarterbacks that haven't won anything and getting all this money so far. Like, what's his name in Detroit? He got a big contract. He's really the one that I can think of. Stafford, yeah, that got this ball rolling.
Well, he's like kind of like the forefather in a sense of quarterbacks.
Kirk Cousins,
yeah.
Cousins, Stafford. I mean, this is the price. Jimmy G got that huge contract. He haven't even really played a season yet.
Right, you ain't even loaded.
They said we
loaded.
Lock you up, though. Come on.
This is the cost now of just being scared of having no quarterback, because then it could be like the Browns, it could be like the Jets. You know, you're searching for anything at that point.
Right, and
Cowboys got lucky with finding one. They're gonna have to pay him eventually. He's gonna get $100 million probably in a couple of years.
Bruh, like, it is ridiculous. Like, people just keep getting money. And just to go over real quick over his stats, I mean, he's completed 3,630 out of 5,593 passes, so he's about 64.9%. He has 41,796 yards, 260 touchdowns, 126 interceptions, and his career rating is 93.4, which, when you look at it statistically, that's a very high. That's a pretty good like passing rating at 93.4. So, and I mean, the attempts for completions, yards, touchdowns are all-time franchise record. So, I mean, they're all in for Matt Ryan. I mean, do you have any thoughts about this?
He's getting $80 million for interception.
Oh my God, Steven, you got any thoughts, man?
Yeah, I definitely agree with Siggy. Like, I just feel like these organizations, they're scared to be where the Browns are, just searching for a goddamn quarterback, so they just pay a guy that can get them 8 to 9 wins a season.
Hey man, I mean, if he's gonna get that money, he's gonna get that money, I guess. So we will.
I ain't mad at it.
Yeah, exactly. I ain't mad at him. Get your money.
I ain't mad at nobody either.
Now did he? Now he didn't get the franchise tag though, did he?
Who?
Matt Ryan.
That was his end of his contract. So he never had to worry about that.
Yeah, but that's crazy. He didn't even get the franchise tag, and he getting this money. Like,
yeah, I mean, franchise tag is only whenever somebody's threatening to like leave or they don't want to sign, an extension and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, they probably
was never
gave it to him with the like little to no disagreements with the organizations and the agent. So.
And we'll see what happens with Julio, because he's probably gonna be the one that's gonna
do you guys think he's still gonna leave, or what?
I'm telling you, man, I don't know. I do think that with this contract, 100 million guarantee, 150, 30 million man a year. I think it was pretty much Julio basically saying he probably knew that this was coming, and he's like, well, what about my money? And they're probably telling him, nah. And I think this pick was really a replacement for him in the future. That's what I think.
Right. Yep. I mean, I guess we shall see. Now, we also have Eric Reed with the collusion lawsuit. What do you think about this, Siggy? You had brought this up. What do you think? You think he's gonna get it, or?
No, I don't think so. The thing is, though, it's starting to be. Look, we all know that Eric Reed is young, 26. We all know that he kneeled with Colin Kaepernick. So it's easy to sit there and say, well, he's young. He's a solid player. He should have this job. And because he kneeled, the link with Kaepernick, everybody assumed he's blackballed, etc. So that's what it's drawn up. But then again, you look around the NFL, there's a lot of players that aren't signed. Dez is probably the biggest one that I could think of that also isn't signed. And after this draft, all the teams that everybody thought that he would land on, all of a sudden doesn't look available. So it might be more than just, kneeling and stuff like that. It could be that teams are like the Falcons. They're just wasting their money on positions of what they think is very important. So far, wide receiver or running back, all these other positions just aren't worth it. And safeties and things like that, they want to fill with the draft, etc. They want younger, they want faster. I do think that Reed, should be signed, but I don't like that he did this because it almost makes it seem like he gave up right away without really having the whole offseason play out. And now he's putting himself in a position where now teams are going to be like, well, you have this lawsuit. Do I really want to mess with you now? So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it's always unfortunate when you have to go through the situations like this, and then people file disclosure grievance and everything. Like, I mean, it's when it comes to Colin Kaepernick, that man is blackballed. That man is blackballed. I don't care what anybody says. With all the signings, with all these other underrated quarterbacks, nothing producing nowhere near Colin Kaepernick or anything, that man is blackballed, and nobody wants to take the quote unquote risk of him. So but seeing stuff like this is never a good thing, and it's not good for the league. It's not good for the organizations, all of that. And it just because even if they win the suit and everything like that, it's like do you still want to play for a league that really doesn't want you there, or have you on this somewhat blacklist? Like I don't know. Like, I mean, you can get your money and everything like that, and that you feel that you've cheated out of, and I'm all for that. But it's like at the end of the day, I mean, you got a passion for the game, but do you go somewhere else and play in the Canadian Football League, or like what do you do? But you guys, JG and Steven, you guys have any thoughts about this?
Yeah, I mean, it sucks because we can see this like in plain sight, but it's like, how do you prove that you're being included against?
Right, it's so hard unless you got concrete evidence or
Yeah,
recording or something.
That's the main issue. I'm sure that Eric Reed has probably talked to multiple teams, and we've seen the news about Colin Kaepernick like working out with a team like the Seahawks, and they asked him a question, "Are you still want to deal?" And he was like, "No." Like, it was like, "What?" He was like, "Yeah, I still want to deal." And they're like, "All right, well, we'll just let you go. Like, we don't even have anything else to talk about." The fact that both of these guys came from the same team, they both nailed, and I'm sure that every single team is asking them the same thing because they don't want those problems that you're going to cause if you still want to nail. That's an issue, and it still sucks because again, we can see it, but it's like, how are you going to be able to prove this in the court? Like, they're not going to listen to you. They're going to be like, "Oh, you don't have this concrete evidence that said that you're being included against." And it really sucks because like we can definitely see this, and it just it's a terrible situation for both of them, and I don't like it at all.
Never a good
The thing
situation.
is, it's not just them two that's been kneeling though. So I mean,
That's
there's
the
other
thing.
players that are getting it. So I mean, that's the thing that makes it hard for him to put himself in the same. Like, obviously, Colin Kaepernick is the one that started this and stuff like that. So we can sit there and say, yeah, for sure, he's one being blackballed because of it. But Eric Reed is putting himself in this position with him when I'm not really sure if that's really it.
But I don't know.
Because if that was the case and it was just about the kneeling and stuff like that, then why are these other players that have kneeled still have their jobs?
Well, I mean, I think
but
I think the thing is though, with the 49ers organization, at least, I mean, it's clear that Kaepernick was blackballed by the organization, but also I think he feels that he was too because he associated himself and his views with Colin Kaepernick. And I mean, and in that respect, I can understand why he feels that type of way. And maybe there's something on the 49ers organization that has gone out throughout the league, and they've talked and discussed, okay, these players are at the center of everything. I don't think that we should deal with that, because I'm sure that all that publicity, everything like that is going to follow them regardless. And I think that's why he feels the way he does. And, you know, you can't knock him for feeling that way, but like JG said earlier, it's just so hard to actually be able to prove collusion unless you literally have some concrete evidence, some either documentation, audio, or something stating that the reason why they are not being picked up is because of this reason. Like Colin Kaepernick is a little bit more easier, in our opinion, situation to be proven. Eric Reed, not so much. But
it is crazy though because the other players we've seen a lot of people kneel last year, but a lot of
owners
players
kneeling. I don't see them getting got rid of.
But the thing is they stopped kneeling though. Like Kaepernick and Eric Reed, I don't think that they ever really stopped kneeling.
Yep.
And that's the entire reason why like you can see that like that's their issue. That's why nobody is picking them on that team. But
so do you think then there is something in the back end that where they basically did say down the pipe, hey, look, it's the kneeling needs to stop, and if you don't, then there's fines or something, and that's why they're stopping? Or do you think that's why now they're bold enough to ask them now in free agency, hey, are you gonna kneel? Because it almost seems like them asking that question, that would be the proof of collusion. Because,
right, it should be, and that's why I said like it's hidden in plain sight. Like with the Colin Kaepernick situation, happened multiple times with the Seahawks, and the second time is when it like actually came out.
Which is funny because the Seahawks have a bunch of players that kneel too, which is
right.
Like, hilarious.
But they're apparently the main ones. Pete Carroll, who's upset about this, that doesn't make any sense to me. That's why I was like that was weird that the Seahawks were the ones that asked that question. But yeah, that should be evidence enough, but apparently it's not.
That's crazy.
Because they have the right to do that as an organization. That's the whole thing right there. They literally have the right to do that because it's a job at the end of the day. And they can choose whether to give you the job or not. So they can ask you whatever the hell they want, and it's not illegal.
Yeah,
that's the whole problem. Yeah, that's right. There you go.
All right, so
what do you think, Steve?
Yeah, I was just about to ask. What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's fucked up, bro. Like, it's just, like Jay said, it's just hard to prove.
Right.
Like being colluded against.
Right.
It's just a fucked situation.
Exactly.
They really didn't do anything wrong.
They didn't. They spoke for what they believe in, and they have they should be able to do every right, and they were peaceful about it. They weren't ever, they were never, aggressive about it and everything, and everybody should have their right to be able to protest. And as long, they're being, respectable, they're continuing to be businessmen on and off the field. They're continuing to conduct themselves in a way that you would want somebody to conduct themselves when stuff like this happen. And for them to kind of like have to deal with the repercussions of that, it's very sucks and unfortunate. But I do think eventually this thing will eventually take forward, and hopefully things do change. I think so. But moving a little bit over, we're gonna go over. Is there any particular NFL trades that you guys would like to talk to before we move over to the NBA segment of the podcast?
I think we covered all the trades.
Yeah, we pretty much covered it all already. But
just probably the biggest news is the fact that Dez doesn't have a team. I know we touched on it a little bit, but that's pretty newsworthy.
Yeah, the fact that he didn't pick him up. What's
it's
going on with the boy, Steve?
It's himself, bro. It's himself, bro. Ravens offered him something. Imagine him and Lamar Jackson.
See, that was the thing too. The Ravens offered him a pretty good contract, and he shot
turned
that
down.
And now all of a sudden,
he wanted to be on the East, bro.
And now all of a sudden, though, I don't think any of the NFC East teams is going to offer him anything near what he wants. Do you think also that might be a play too? That he's thinking to himself, hey, I want at least 8 to 10 million, and they only offered me 3. I mean, is that going to prevent him from playing? I mean,
he's doing that to himself at the end of the day.
It might.
He's closing opportunity. He's closing doors.
Like, just you off the Cowboys, bro. Just try to win a championship. Bro.
Right, like you shouldn't even
go to a championship contender.
He's got a personal vendetta. That's what it is.
Fuck the vendetta, bro. It's just going try to win a championship. Bro.
Yeah, because a lot of people
do what DeMarcus Ware did, bro. Just leave and win.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, right. They were saying it's going to be the Giants, especially because they released Brandon Marshall, right? So they were like, oh yeah, he's definitely going to the Giants. But yeah, it's all over money. He wants too much money, and no team is willing to give it to him, except the Ravens apparently. But there's still not enough for him.
Right.
No team that he wants.
Yeah,
right.
No team that he actually wants.
And it's crazy though, because he would if he would have been there one more year, he would have got his money. And I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it, because he does, and it's kind of like an unfortunate thing. But if he's going to continue to hold himself with this personal vendetta with the Cowboys, he's going to be burning bridges and closing doors of opportunity, and no team is going to want to have that, because I know they're going to want to have a guy that has drive, has initiative, is going to work hard and wants to bring a championship to the organization that he's going to be part of. But when he has this personal vendetta, his mind can get clouded and he won't be as focused sometimes. And I think that's what business and the teams in the front office are worried about with him. Because if anything, Dez is a solid player. He's a great player. I think he's a potential first round Hall of Famer. I definitely do think so. And I think that any team would love to have him if he didn't have this personal problem. That's all.
It's crazy knowing that he might get signed for league minimum.
Kibbles and bits. That's what it is.
He might get signed for league minimum, and he might be. I hope the Jets just reach out to him and say, "Hey, let's."
Of course, I knew you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say.
Well, hell, Robbie Anderson's about to go to jail. I mean, we need a receiver now.
Man, I mean, you got a point. Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, Anderson's not going to jail. The arrest warrant for him has been dropped. Actually,
they drop it.
Yeah.
So he wound up showing up to court later on.
Yeah, it got dropped. So yeah, so I don't know about all that, but
still, man, that's still a bad look. And the NFL is probably going to come down on him anyways, because right now it's still the court process, and the NFL hasn't taken its stance on it yet.
Right. I see somebody in the chat talking about he's overrated. Hey, I rock with Dez Bryant, man. I don't think he's overrated like that. I do think he'll end up being in the Hall of Fame eventually. I definitely do think he will. But well, we will see.
I don't know about first ballot though. That's my boy.
Well, maybe it's gonna take him some time. I was exaggerating a little bit with that. But
T.O. just got in there.
Yeah. Dez is gonna get in there, but it's gonna take some time. He'll get in there in our lifetime, that's for sure. Let's move over to the NBA. The playoffs have been going on so far. Lakers are second round, about to get ready to. Nah, let me stop.
Oh dear.
I wish, but so this has been a crazy NBA playoff so far. Toronto is doing Toronto things and fucking everything up. Tings fucking up bad. Everybody that was like, yeah, man, Raptors, they about to go all the way. No,
nobody really honestly thought.
No, I saw people really going for the Raptors on Twitter, fam. Fam.
Well, look, we all know there's a lot of people that hate LeBron and they want any team to win, but there's just no way that I believe, unless you're a Toronto Raptors fan, that you really think the Raptors were gonna beat the Cavs or LeBron. Period. I mean, they never showed anything even.
I mean, they damn near lost to the Pacers. So
I understand that, but the Raptors suck, though.
It's the Raptors, man.
Right. What are your thoughts of the playoffs so far, JG?
I'm trying to think. Was I really surprised about anybody making it to the second round so far? Maybe the Pelicans. I was expecting a little bit more fight with the Pelicans. Man, they look scary in the first round.
That shit stopped immediately when they hit Golden State, though, boy. Whew.
Yeah, I was surprised about Boston too. Because I didn't think that they were gonna just breeze by, even though it was 7 games, but it still kind of felt easy for them.
Right.
Or at least what we're seeing right now in these first 2 games against the 76ers. Man, Terry Rozier, give him some time. Man.
Buckets.
Clown him, man.
3 buckets, getting them.
No Kyrie, no Gordon Hayward, no problem for them.
They 2-0 right now against the 76ers. They won today, 108-103. So, I mean...
Kevin Hart and Meek Mill ain't enough for them right now.
Facts.
They gonna be sad if they get bounced out.
Well, we about to see, because I think the next game is in Philly, because they did twice. They did twice in Boston, so now it's going over to Philly, and the Celtics.
Kevin Hart traveled. He was forget this. I want to see all these games.
Right, and I was gonna say, Steven made a good point that the Celtics have yet to win a game away. They have not won yet, so we'll see.
I could have made it on the show too, but whatever.
Oh man.
What made the Celtics impressive today was that 22-point comeback.
They were down. They made up for that in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right up
when you give up a lead like that, you pretty much lost.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not counting Philly out. I'm not. We're gonna see how we'll see if Philly's out by the way they play at home. We will see. I'm not counting them out, even though they're down 2-0. I do believe that they can come back and the young boys can get it back together. But they're gonna have to. They're gonna have to play hard. Like they really are. Next time they play,
brotherly love and feeling.
They're gonna have to win these games. They're gonna have to win these next 2 games for sure.
Was anyone else surprised that the Pacers took the Cavs to 7 games?
I was
surprised that it pushed him to 7, but I wasn't surprised that
at the outcome
exactly.
We knew LeBron was going to get bounced out the first round. That was just everybody knew that. Yeah. Like no LeBron in the playoffs is just. I feel like at this point it's just boring. Yeah. So, like you gotta let LeBron get back the first round. It's just not going to happen.
What's funny is just looking at the teams left. It almost seems like it's a cakewalk all the way to the finals again.
I mean, you get the Raptors second round and we see what's going on,
bro.
Even that LeBron Cleveland team against a Kyrie-less Boston sounds like LeBron would easily beat them.
That's crazy.
That sounds easy. Also, I
mean, Kevin Love showed up.
Right.
Kevin Love actually showed
31 points.
Yeah, man, like what?
And guess who else showed up? A Kardashian Liz Tristan Thompson.
Bro, that's crazy. I'm still shocked about that.
Turned into a double machine the last games. I was like, where was this Tristan? Yeah, last 3. Where was this Tristan Thompson at, yo? The Kardashian curse is real. It's super real. You have a baby.
He disappeared today, though.
LeBron hasn't been as happy in his life. Kardashian free.
I'm like, man, but yeah, I'm still worried just for the fact that like he really does need help. But when you do have Kevin Love step up, when you have Tristan Thompson step up, when you have Kyle Korver scoring the most in one game, and when you have JR when he actually wants to show up, then they're actually pretty decent. But I'm still worried though because LeBron, like, I think
they could cut off in a second.
Right. Yeah, I think it was like either game 6 or 7 of the Pacers series. He was like, I'm not coming out this game. Right. And I'm like, bro, you really about to play all 48 minutes. That's wild.
That's crazy, but if that's what you're gonna do, that's what you're gonna do.
That's he literally wanted to do that. I'm like, man, no, you ain't human, dog, but that's how much he wants to win the game. Like, I'm not mad at that determination because he like, look, I gotta be out here because my teammates ain't shit right now.
He knows. He knows. All I'm gonna say is this about it. I have to go back to Philly real quick, yo. If they want to win, Ben Simmons has to score more than 1 point. I'm just gonna put that out.
Yeah, that's crazy,
bro. You're in 31 minutes and you only score 1 point. You went. You had 1 point.
Shot the ball 4 times.
4 times. 4 times.
Of the year, quote unquote, only shoot it 4
times.
What in the world is going on?
Ain't shooting no damn 4 times.
4 times, yo. 4 times.
Mitchell gonna run this team to victory like he did yesterday.
Right. Yeah, and exactly. They tied it. Yeah, they tied it up in the series with the Rockets right now. So. Yeah.
Now the coach saw this too. When Ben Simmons was on the floor, he was a minus 23 point differential. So they were scoring at will on him. So I mean, obviously that's why they took him out.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But why though? What is it that is it there? Is he the one that's just destroying him? What is it that? Ben
I think it's mental. I think it's mental with him. I think it's mental.
Defensively, he sucked.
Bruh, he was just getting worked.
Not a rookie chance is getting to him.
Yeah. Maybe he said it's not.
They don't prove his actions don't prove it.
He getting attacked on fucking Twitter and shit. Donovan Mitchell.
And Karl Anthony Towns got him up late night, dog, playing PUBG.
I told you, man. You're playing PUBG, playing Fortnite. You ain't get it off.
It wasn't the fouls either. I mean, usually that's the first indication about somebody that
Nah, fam.
But you look at the fouls, and it wasn't even that.
He better stop. He better stop building in tilted towers and go take his ass to sleep.
You know what it really is, dog. I think Tinashe got a curse on her, dog.
Oh no!
Wow.
I think we got a Tinashe curse. New conspiracy. I said it first. Tinashe.
Oh, man. Go ahead and clip. Go ahead and clip that because we might have to use that for future reference.
He already broke up the new boys. Don't sleep, dog.
Oh my God! I can't.
This might need some further research.
Oh man. That's crazy. Y'all are wild. Can we just talk about real quick with the Pelicans and how Golden State is making it look so easy, and Steph just came back. Like, does Steph even really need to play right now? Let's be honest.
No,
he don't need to play.
They kind of needed him in this one though.
Nah, fam. Fam.
They only won by 5. The Pelicans actually had every single one of their starters actually play good. Yeah, all their starters did good. If you look at their stats, they were all solid. It was a game that they should have won. The X factor obviously was Curry. Curry was the one that, off the bench, of all things, led the team.
Playoff Rondo is he's scary. I mean,
Playoff
he over here
Rondo,
rubbing his sweat on the basketball. And stuff,
he petty. No,
Draymond,
fam. That's petty as hell, bro. First of all, that's nasty as fuck. Like, I'm over here shooting everything like that, playing ball, and you really gonna wipe your greasy ass forehead on the basketball like that, bro? Come on, man. And matter of fact, it's worse for him too. Cause think about it. Imagine how many niggas that touch that ball and everything like that, and you gonna put it across your forehead like that. I hope he break out doing some stuff like that. That's stupid.
So Barkley said he gonna punch Draymond.
Man, I don't want to hear what Charles Barkley got to say, bro. Stop it. Just like, and I'm glad that Draymond Green said exactly what he says. If he feels like he's gonna punch him, then come over there and try to punch him.
Him and his mama, though.
Right, his mama got off on Twitter too. I was like, all right, fam.
Charles Barkley is a fool, though. He always talking about punching somebody.
He always trying to fight. But he won't fight Shaq, though.
Shaq, though. Yeah. Shaq said he'll punch him in his gut every damn night, yo.
And you don't see him trying to fight Shaq?
Right, he ain't never gonna step up to Shaq, though. Like, Charles Barkley is a funny ass dude.
That's crazy how old Charles Barkley really is, though. When they said
that's Auburn niggas for you.
Right. It's funny how old he is. When they said, I think his mom talked about, well, how you gonna talk about fighting somebody, but you didn't want to fight nobody between Dr. J and Larry Bird. I was like, God damn, this nigga old. Like,
no, we talking about right now.
I'm talking about right now, Flock. I'm talking about right now.
Yeah, we talking about like on the set.
Yeah,
like, he ain't gonna step up to him again.
Like, Shaq already to try like Charles Barkley like multiple times, like on set live. Like they could have already went to the parking lot and just settled it there, but you know. We gonna see, man. We gonna see. So Steph Curry will be back for the game 3, which will be tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, yeah.
I want to just say this, bro. Is it really? Does anybody really have a chance of beating the Warriors?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Like
that was
and I watched the Pelicans game.
That was the best chance for them to lose a game, and they didn't even lose.
Yep. Yeah. And like I said,
like nobody stands a chance.
And like I said before, we're gonna do like we did last year at E3. We're gonna make it another tradition to watch the game, and the Warriors are gonna be in the finals. And yeah, man. But shout out to Mitchell though with Utah Jazz though, like going at it, and they even going at it with the Rockets. They're tied up right now. So, but yeah, no one's stopping the Warriors right now, y'all.
Boy, oh boy.
Well, let's talk about that real quick. What do you think about that game? Do you think Houston was just lazy? I mean,
I know. I just think that the Jazz just got at it. I really just think what it is. The shots were falling for them, and they just wanted it more. That's really what it was.
But it really wasn't. But they really didn't get any contribution from anyone except for Joe Ingles. I mean, that was the only guy that really did anything. Everybody else was okay, but it wasn't anything that. It was like the Rockets almost didn't care. I don't know why.
Maybe it's the Chris Paul curse coming back into effect. Can't get to the Western Conference Finals.
Oh man,
I'm not have Ricky Rubio right now.
Right.
Yeah, Ricky Rubio.
Ricky Rubio was kind of. Yeah,
he was kind of going off. Yeah. And and I saw this on Twitter with Siggy, and I had to quote this real quick. This man Siggy said, "The only way that the Raptors could win is if against the Cavs is if Drake wins a Fortnite solo." Wow, this guy's an idiot. Let's move on. And speaking of Siggy, so what's up with the Knicks, Siggy? What do you think of the head coach selection? What do you think? You happy about that, or you think it should have been somebody different? What are your thoughts? Let the people know.
Man, I really don't know what to think. I know that Fizdale did good for Memphis. I don't know, man. At this point, I really don't know who the perfect coach is for the Knicks unless we go back, way back when with Sheen and get, Phil Jackson in his prime or something.
I was gonna say, did Phil Jackson screw it all up for New York? Like, let's be real. Did he come in there and mess stuff up even more? And
I think they've gotten to the point to where all the damage is done. But I do think that there needed to be a change. I didn't like what's his face, still trying to do the triangle. I think this coach makes it to where free agents will be more inclined to come over now. They'll probably be like, oh, we know this guy and stuff like that. We see what he does, and he seems more of a player coach type of person. So I could see it. I don't know if this was a move to get somebody like LeBron in free agency or anything like that, but we'll see what happens. I do think that it's something that in the right direction. I do think though that the move that he wants to make right away is probably put Porzingis at the center spot. That's going to be interesting because a lot of people don't want him there. So unless he bulks up, so we'll see what happens.
Right, Steven, you got any thoughts about the coach, or do you not really care? I mean, I don't blame you. I don't care.
I'll just say Fizdale got hold. I'm glad he can. Like most coaches, when they get fired, they get hold. Like they can't help the team as bad most of the time. But Fizdale definitely got hold. I'm glad he got a nice little spot.
Right. What about you, JG?
Shout out to the black coaches. But the Knicks are going through this little coaching roulette right now.
Tell me about it.
And it's not looking good. I hope that Fizdale's the key. Like Steven said, he definitely got hold. You can't do anything when your players are constantly getting injured. So to get fired in that fashion was definitely unfortunate. But we will see what Fizdale does in New York, though. Because I don't know. I don't think that it's the coaching that's the issue in New York.
Well, hopefully what's his face leaves San Antonio, goes to the Knicks. There you go.
Yeah.
Kawhi.
Well, y'all do have an opening at small forward, so because Tim Hardaway could easily just move to the 2, so that's not an issue.
Right. So we brought up Drake earlier. What's up with Drake causing trouble and getting into the ear of players? And I thought this was interesting. Him and Kendrick Perkins got into a verbal confrontation, and apparently the NBA has issued a verbal warning to Drake about the exchange. What do you guys think about that?
Slapped him on the wrist.
Man, better stop talking shit, dog.
Like,
Hey,
these celebrities got to get treated.
Don't want to play with, bro.
Exactly. These celebrities got to start getting treated like they regular people too. Because if that would have been somebody that was regular, you know what would have happened? They would have been escorted out.
Oh.
You're right. You think you're not gonna get touched because you went to Toronto, dog? We don't care if you go to all the home games.
And
you can't be saying that.
And he's the ambassador at that too.
Yeah, you're an ambassador, so like
act like an ambassador.
There's going to be consequences for you like jawing at these players. And apparently he said that Kendrick Perkins had a good hem in his capris.
Yeah, bro.
Kendrick Perkins had on like a full suit. So you say my man got on capris?
Yeah,
bro. Even if that's what you said, like you don't think he gonna clap back at you? My man's Kendrick Perkins ready to beat your ass.
Kendrick Perkins ain't the one. Perkins ain't the one. You better stop.
You better calm down. You better calm down and take this sweep, because that's what's about to happen in a minute. You don't watch out. You better talk to Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan because they need some help. You better see what you can do to like recruit or something. Be the ambassador you're supposed to be. Recruit some niggas to Toronto.
Right.
Drake's just having a rough day, all right, Rihanna.
Bro, that dude.
They were not friends anymore.
But he knew that.
Dusted him by like 20.
Nah, man.
It's a rough time.
He said, my guy, look at your capris. All I'm gonna say is he came at John Wall crazy and surprisingly, he made it out of that. So
mess with Blood Gang John Wall too.
Bro,
boy,
you gotta be mess with John Wall, boy. All right, Drake. You keep this ain't a Meek Mill situation, fam. I don't think you can get out of this one with John Wall. I'm just saying.
See, Drake's smart. That's why he don't leave. He don't leave Toronto. He don't be going to away games. What's up?
Bruh. Right. You know Kendrick Perkins is just waiting for him. All right, I see. You better not come to a away game talking like that.
John would have had all the blood niggas in Washington.
Nah, he's smart. He's smart. He's
all
smart.
of them, bro.
He might have had to leave the game early so John Wall don't send out that text. Like, oh, man. Siggy, what's your thoughts about this, man? What do you think about Drake and Kendrick Perkins?
I do think that they're being in the spotlight a little too much. Him, what's his face on Philadelphia, Kevin Hart.
No, Kevin Hart's situation is not bad because Kevin Hart and Dwayne Wade.
Did you see him today though?
He was clowning today.
He was clowning today, but Kevin Hart and Dwayne Wade are actually legitimate friends. So
No, but today he was getting into it with the Celtic fans and stuff like that. I mean, don't get me
Oh well,
wrong, I mean,
it's all entertainment. Like that's not a
the
problem
thing
as
is,
long as
though,
he's not affecting the game.
the thing is though is that they're making it it's taking away from the games themselves. I think the NBA is probably not looking at it as, oh, this is good PR for us.
No.
Self promotion, it looks like in the end, and I just don't know if they're.
I mean, him being there already is like self promotion when you really think about it. Like, let's be real here. Like, I mean, that's the whole like quote unquote spotlight of being on courtside and everything like that, going on social media, being on the news network, them being shouted out during TV timeouts during the game, like all of this stuff like that. So
we know celebrities go. We know celebrities go to these NBA games and stuff like that
to be seen.
But the thing is, so none of them are acting to the point where they trend now. Like I know Spike Lee, he's been in every Knicks game it seems. And
Die Hard, you can't say nothing. Yeah.
Jack Nicholson at Lakers game.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. So
But they weren't. They were, except for when Spike Lee went after Reggie Miller. They weren't. They weren't really though making themselves like the center of everything by either getting it with the fans or players, etc.
Yeah.
You can hear it
take
every
the
now
ball
and
out
then.
next to Drake. That ain't gonna be whispering.
Yeah, boy John and shit. So
Yeah.
Right. So we'll see. And I already had this on the notes. We already talked about Steph Curry being back. He'll be back game 3. But what I wanted to briefly bring up, so it's the tip off for the NBA 2K League. Have any of you gentlemen had the opportunity to watch any of the highlights of these games on Twitch? Any of that? If you guys have any thoughts about the NBA 2K League, JG, you are the NBA G League spokesman. Would you like to talk about this?
I haven't watched any games, but I do follow the 2K League on Twitter, so I was looking at all the highlights and stuff. I mean, it looks pretty hype. I would have to actually watch a full broadcast, get the full spectrum of what's going on. But I like the way that they have it set up. I don't know how big that is going to get, but it looks interesting enough. So that's all I really got to say. They're still in their beginning stages. I think they're just on day 3, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. I like that the actual teams that they're under or tweeting them or whatever. Yeah, we're watching y'all. Good luck, And I like the way that they're setting it up. They got at least 5 or 6 games every day. They're going to a round robin and then get into the finals or whatever. So I think that's pretty cool the way they have it set up. I have to watch an entire broadcast so to give you my full thoughts on how they're doing it.
Right. So you haven't really catch any of this, right? It's not really your forte with esports, no, not at all.
Nah, I mean it's not something that I'll watch. I mean, it's I don't know. It's already long enough watching a real NBA game. 2K game, nah, I'm good.
Nah, I feel you. What about you, Steven? Oh, my bad, Siggy, go on.
I was gonna say it's already hard enough you've been watching the squad play on 2K on Twitch.
Oh man.
So I can't.
I feel you. Steven, any thoughts?
I ain't been able to watch any of the games. They seem like they be streaming at the same time the actual games.
Yeah, and I don't know how I feel about that.
I saw D-Man in the tweet about it. And I was like, yo, the Cavs are playing. I was like, what you talking about? I ain't trying to watch no virtual basketball. I'm trying to watch real.
Right.
So nah, I haven't been able to catch it, but I've seen a little bit of the highlights. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
it looks like a lot of 5-out too. So
yeah, it's actually pretty cool.
At that might upset me.
Yeah, it's actually really cool. They do got some. They do set up the custom stadiums for everybody. Everything obviously is virtual. And they do have all that set up. They have the actual 70, for instance, the 76ers gaming logo, the Blazers gaming logo, and whatnot, which is really really dope. And then obviously they're playing with their my players, and the setup overall is actually really really cool. And I can see why people would be interested. Now to see it in person compared to watching it on Twitch, I feel like that. I don't think that I would pay to actually go to one of these events. I mean, if we went as media to check it out, cool. But I think it would be more interesting to watch watch it via Twitch. And like I listen to a little bit of the games, and like they do like the sports announcing and everything like that is dope. Like shoutcasters, they do their job, which is pretty cool. And like it's interesting to see like how the teams go against each other and whatnot. And it's getting some hype. So I might have my own quarrels about the 2K league and just like, but it is giving guys the opportunity to make some decent amount of money and be able to be like kind of the face of the 2K league, with this being the first time this has ever happened. So I mean, no one wants to see this shut down. I do think there's gonna catch more buzz. I mean, you got it being tweeted out by the NBA. They had the partnership with Twitch, which is obviously a big thing with it being a live streaming service. And I think this can be a staple of how further things will go when it comes to the leagues, like the esports league. So we will see. People get opportunities. Nothing wrong with that at all. So shout out to the 2K League. Is there any other sporting news that you guys would like to talk to before we end the segment?
Tiger Woods is going back to being irrelevant.
Yeah.
That didn't take long.
Nah, it didn't. But Tiger Woods is back, baby. Apparently.
Juan Carlos still striking out, but he had a nice game last night.
Oh man. Ichiro is out. Is that correct?
Yankees win. That's all that matters.
Yeah, he's going into the front office now.
But he's not retired. He's not retired.
Yeah, he's not retired.
He's not retired. That's so weird. Like, hey, I'm going to be a special assistant in the front office. I'm not retired, though, but we'll see next year. All right. Marlins. No, we'll see. I guess.
No, it was Mariners. He went to the Mariners.
Yeah, Mariners, yeah.
I guess we'll see. That's interesting.
And NHL is still going on.
Yo, shout out to the Vegas Golden Knights. I am not a hockey fan, but I guess I will represent my team in my city.
That's an amazing first season that y'all had.
Exactly. Everybody counted them out, being that obviously it's expansion team.
What? Nobody counted them
out.
out.
They did. They did count them out because the fact is they didn't think they would go this far due to the fact that there's a whole bunch of people being put together for this first season. They actually were looked at as frowned upon.
They won 51 games. Who in the world? They're the number one seed. Who thought that?
They were. I'm saying during the season, Siggy. That
they were winning during the season.
But people didn't think that was going to happen initially when they brought a team here in Las Vegas. You're not here, so you don't hear the talk about. You don't see the stuff about it.
That's true. That's true. See, I didn't expect them to do anything.
Like anybody didn't really expect. Like
the first year.
Yeah, like the first year, like they've had a phenomenal season, and like I think that it is really dope. So shout out to the Golden Knights. I think they're going to go to the Stanley Cup. No. But if they do, that's cool.
It'll be interesting. I do want to see Golden Knights versus the Lightning down here. I think that'll be lit.
Yeah, that would be cool.
My girl's she's a huge Lightning fan, so like if they do end up doing that, we're definitely gonna try to go to at least one game.
That's cool, JJ. I get you a Golden Knights jersey, fam, so you can rep since I can't be there. But I got you, fam. It's all good.
I'm good. I'm not getting any jersey. I'm a Blues fan. Fuck that.
Oh man. But other than that, you guys got anything else, Steven?
No, I'm good, bro.
All right, true. So for the YouTube portion, everybody in the Twitch chat, appreciate you guys for rocking with us. Go ahead and continue to stay here. For YouTube, thank you guys so much for coming through. As always, is always much appreciated for all the support that you guys give us over on the YouTube channel, on Facebook, all our social media. So check all that out down the link down below. If you guys would like to continue to support the Game Illuminaughty, be sure to check out our Patreon. That is patreon.com/GIupdates. And a whole bunch of awesome tiers where you can be a part of videos just like this one. We will be showing a new format soon, so be ready to check that out. Also, if you guys are interested in watching Triple Threat Sports Podcast live, that will be on my personal Twitch channel. That's twitch.tv/AceOfAllTrades01. I will leave a link down below. Appreciate everybody for coming through. As always, this has been Ace of All Trades, UTXJG to Don, Siggy Guns, Steven, and with the Game Illuminaughty, we out. Peace.